Greetings and salutations, this is Thumbs United. We're continuing our Deadpool Let's Play. This is episode 4. So we're going to continue from where I left off in the previous Let's Play. We're going to kind of have a stream of consciousness with this episode. It's pretty much whatever I can think of. I kind of made a list of things to talk about, but I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the list. So, I guess while we're playing video games, I'll talk about some other video games. But last time I was talking about how Bungie, I mean, they've admitted this in the past and in their Vidocs, about how like they don't care about story. Their first priority is good gameplay, which I think they do really good at, is good gameplay. I mean, all the Halo levels are still fun if you go back and play them. And like even on easy, they're still really well balanced. And like easy, I just do run-throughs and try to get the par times, especially in the Master Chief Collection. I think I've gotten the par times on everything. But yeah, that's just plain on easy. But
Open. Check. Now for the mine cop. Would it kill you to do a better job killing them?
But anyway, so Bungie said, you know, I don't care about story. And it kind of showed a little bit with the Halo. Like, when you go back and watch them, it's just like, this makes no sense. And then when you kind of, like, think about it, it's just like the Chief and Cortana, they're always walking around some alien place. And they do something, and whatever the boss, master, whatever, wants you to do, he's like tricking you into doing it, like unleashing him or whatever. And like once you kind of see that pattern, like you can't unsee it. Like Halo 1, you go around, Guilty Spark is trying to get you to activate the ring, you know, but it doesn't tell you, you know, the rings are going to destroy all life. And then, like, Halo 3. Well, not Halo 3, but, I mean, Halo 2 is a little bit that way. You're just running around trying to stop the Covenant from capturing the Index again. 1, and 2, lighting the Halos again. And that one in Halo 2, there was no real trick. And so that one deviated. But. And then in Halo 3, you had Guilty Spark again. He goes kind of crazy. Wants you to light the ring, but doesn't want you to light the ring before it's complete. And then he, you know, stabs you in the back after you've been helping them through the entire game. Which makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just like, seriously? You know, the Chief and Cortana are a little too trusting. And then Halo 4, you know, it's by 343 Industries, and started the same thing again. You're running around, you're on this Forerunner world, and then you get tricked into unlocking the Didact, which is just like, seriously? And I never understood the Didact because I read the books. I forgot who they were by, but I read the ones that were like, they took place with the Forerunners and stuff, and you're following the one character, and it's just like, is this the one that was from the book? Did he turn bad? But this was before I read the third one, and I still haven't read the third one, so I don't know if it's all explained there. But I remember the second one in the book, and it was so boring because it was just like, it was told from the human's perspective, and it's just like they're walking on Halo, and that was the entire book. It was like these primordial people that were like semi-feral and like early civilization people that were like placed on the Halo ring to kind of be saved as like part of the biological library of like, these are all the things that used to exist before the Halos wiped them out. And it was like some plot with the librarian. And then And then, spoiler alert,
What you doing up there?
the all of a sudden they're like stop walking, and they realize that they've been turned into machines. And he's just like, what? And it was like, I think the books were by Greg Bear, and I liked his first one, but it's like the second one was just too long, and nothing happened.
Build these statues and set us free.
And so, anyway, so back to Halo 4. You're going along, and one by one, step by step, you're tricked into unlocking the Didact, and then the Didact tries to kill you, surprise, later. I mean, throughout the entire game, and it's just like, the Chief always brings it in on himself.
And I'm where now?
And so, that kind of brings me to Halo 5. But I didn't think they brought too much of the books in Halo 4, but I liked how in Halo 5 that they were bringing back a lot of like some of the plots that were in the original Eric Nyland books and the kind of expanded universe with Karen Travis and Greg Bear and Bushnell and stuff. But yeah, it's nice. But then it's like the same thing. You go, you run, you're unlocking the different elements on Genesis to get, Katana access to the domain, and then it's like, surprise! Spoiler alert, she turns on you, and it's like, end of game, that was it. She's like, seriously? The ending really reminded me of Halo 2, where it's just like, it's not an ending, but it's just like, there's too much going on. My goodness. And then, I don't know, I've been dealing with social media a lot, and majorly just scheduling different things to happen.
Supposed to lower the lift until after I was dead.
And so I've been like watching other streamers and other people that have to like deal with Facebook, and like Facebook is so shady the way they like share their posts. Like for the Flirtations website, if I put a link, and what I mean by link is like if you just copy and paste a link and it does the autocomplete where it pulls the thumbnail of the website you're posting and does the little about thing. If it embeds it itself, it will like distribute it to maybe 2 or 3 people. Like out of 900 people that follow your page, it will only give it to like 3 or 4 will actually see it in their newsfeed. And so I figured out a way around it. And so what some streamers and other social media experts do is they'll like post a picture. And if you post a picture, like upload a picture onto Facebook and post it. So for like my 900 followers, what it will do is it will show that picture to like 400 of them, which I think is like all the ones that are active throughout the week. And then like the other 500 people might not be logged onto Facebook. But so it's a big difference. And so what I've done and noticed that there's no real difference in drop off is I'll put a link in the description and then post the image directly from Facebook. And so that seems to distribute it just as much. But it's like, why don't you distribute links normally? It'd be so much easier if their like embed feature wasn't. It's like obviously handicapped to not go as many people. And it's probably because Facebook doesn't want to have its users go outside of Facebook, which from a security perspective is like good, because then you can like police what's all the stuff that's on Facebook, but you can't verify other people. But still, I mean, there should be some verification process that's like, okay, your site is okay. You have no malicious content or bugs or whatever. That's kind of my gripe. Because it's like 3 extra steps you have to do. Especially when like I go through the, oh my goodness, I'm about to die. Especially when I go through the process of like creating these. I mean, each page has its own kind of about title, I guess you would call it. But, or information about each page. So that like if you link to it, it will automatically say, hey, this is a blog about this, or this is a post about that. And it's like, why doesn't Facebook support that better? Gotta collect all those coins. I'm never gonna get to that door. Oh my goodness. And the other thing about Facebook is like I occasionally will create an ad for one of the websites, but not often. And so I guess because I've done it occasionally in the past, like my newsfeed is full of just all these like advertisements, but it's like if I had chosen to put an ad on my site and they're like, look, this is what your ad would look like if you would run it. Do you want to purchase it? And it's like, no. But they do it for like every other post is, you know, a fake ad. Well, an ad to buy Facebook ads with the individual pages. And it's just like, stop. It's just overkill. And the big one is Instagram. If I post from the Quotations Instagram and I link the post on Facebook, Facebook loves to ask for advertisement for that. They're like, oh, if you advertise it, you can get so many more followers on Instagram. And I just upgraded the Instagram app, and the Instagram app is like exponentially more annoying now, because with every new post I do, it says, oh, this post is doing 95% better than all your other posts. And it's like, it's really not. It's gotten the same amount of likes as the other photos. And I guess they're trying to do it by like speed, like you got the same amount of likes, but in like half the time, or what? I don't know what their metric is, but it's like, and they're like, it's doing 95% better than your previous post, but it could do even better if you paid more and get a bigger audience. It's like, seriously.
Seriously, don't they teach you clones anything about history? You look, what, they just pop you out of a machine and give you a gun? Let me drop a little knowledge.
But I think the hardest place, social media, that I've had problems with growth is, other than Tumblr, is Instagram. I don't know what it is about it. Like, I don't do follow for follow, but like if somebody follows me, I'll like look at their account. If they're not spam and if they're not private, I'll follow back as long as it's like acceptable content. But I do judge, not judge, but there is like a system that you have to pass for me to follow back. But a lot of times people just follow, and then it's like they don't even want to hide it. They just follow, and then if you follow back, they unfollow you. And then it's like, great, now I can't find which account you are to unfollow because I don't want to follow somebody who follows. And unlike Twitter, that tells you who follows you, Instagram, like, you have to go back and forth, and it's a pain. And so for a while, what I did was I just wouldn't follow anyone until the start of a new month, and then I'd follow everyone who like passed the test and was still following me. But now I kind of just do it as it comes. But still, a lot of people unfollow. And it's like, seriously?
Oh, joy! Bullets!
And so I've been around 190. And like occasionally I balloon up to 200 followers. But it always goes back to like 190. And it's like, I don't know what's going on. But the people who do follow, they like reliably are active with the account. So that's nice. Because it's like I see the same people coming in and like liking and commenting. And it's like, oh, that's good. The people that stay really like it. But it's like, I don't know how to expand growth. Other than, doing an ad. But I won't stoop down to the level of doing a...
One of Sinister's clones behind. Return when you're finished purging these tubes.
That's
Seriously?
my girl. I'll be right
Gotta
back.
clear them all out. And so it's like, I don't want to pay for like an Instagram ad because Instagram you can't link out of. And so like with the Facebook, what is the word?
Good now. Okay. I'm done with
So with
killing.
Facebook, the
What-
justification is like you get a lot of followers, and then they'll come to your page, and once they like your page, they'll like come to like either the website or the web store and things like that. With Instagram, you can't really get people to come out of Instagram because Instagram doesn't have links that work except for in the like about page, and then it's just like.
But do not wander too far into the shadows. Not all spirits in the
And then there
catacombs
was
please
a couple
with
months where like
presence of
90% of my traffic was from Facebook and Facebook links. And so I was like, at least, people are coming out of Facebook to,
Gotta get back to the light.
this is so creepy. And so at least people are coming out of Facebook to the other side. So it's like at least those ads are worked for themselves.
Oh, babe. Where you going?
A better view of what's to come. Stay your course. Do not panic. Oh, we have a visitor. Show your love for me and free its soul.
You only get to do that at least 2 more times. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we could pick up the pace.
You are hungry. As am I.
And then the other,
Follow.
I kind of made a blog post about it on the Salty Comics on Flotations.com. But I started internet dating about 2 years ago.
We have arrived. The spirit belonged to a
And so I like tried all the standard stuff. I was on OkCupid. I was on Tinder. I even tried Bumble.
Tested.
But, I would get matches, but then I'd say like, oh, hi. And my standard greeting was like, greetings and salutations. Or I'd mention something about what was on their profile. But didn't really work. Most people didn't answer. Or my favorite was like you'd match with somebody, and then they'd see that you matched, and then they don't match with you like the next day. And I was like, seriously? So now what I used to do was either would like wait a day and see if they would unmatch with me or not,
Who are you supposed to
and then I'd message them. But after a while, I just got tired of it. And I went on a couple of dates, but it was just like, I never really found the right person. And so then I was like, you know what, I give up. And I was kind of thinking, one thing was like, I was kind of enjoying my alone time. It was like, I like being single a little bit, but then, and so I like went to delete my account with like everybody. I went to quit Tinder, delete the account there, quit the Bumble account, and delete. And OkCupid, and it was so funny. Like it is, there is so much like the Gestapo or something, or the Mafia, where like when you go to delete your account, they're like, what are you doing? You're quitting? What are you, a quitter? You're leaving us? And it's like, seriously, this is the thing you want to say to your somebody who's deleting an account? And it was like, I might come back, but the way like the way they treat you when you're like trying to delete your account is like, maybe I don't want to come back to these sites if this is how they think of it. And so my favorite was Bumble, because when I went to delete the account on Bumble, they were like, oh, so you're going to delete your account? Well, just to let you know, if you delete your account and you ever come back to Bumble, we're not going to match you with the best Bumble bees or whatever. And it's like, seriously? That is so, not just passive aggressive, that's blatantly aggressive. And I was like, oh, that's too... And then I was like, okay, so now I'm boycotting Bumble, because it's just like, I don't want to ever deal with you. I can't believe that, like, that's how you think of your users, that you would make that the default text response. So that was about half a year ago I quit everything. But about 2 weeks ago I signed up back for the Tinder, because I was like, Tinder's goodbye speech wasn't that bad. And so, it's been fine. And so, my other problem with Tinder was that, you go through and you like people, but then, it's like, oh, you ran out of likes, you liked too many people, check back in another 24 hours. And so I was like, well, I actually want to, like, get somewhere with Tinder. So I broke down and I paid for like 6 months of like unlimited likes. And it was worth it. Mainly because I'm starting to get more matches faster instead of having to do the thing where you like wait each day. And I also feel like I'm seeing more people, more active users that are in my area or closer to me. So that's nice. And the other feature I enjoy, I swear this is an ad for Tinder, but you can change the location. So if I know I'm going to be in another city where I live, I can just switch there and start like, seeing who's over there and stuff. But
lock and load, Wade. It's gonna get hot in here.
Ad door number 2.
so that's a nicer feature. But
See no evil. Purple, the color of nightshade. My favorite flower.
See no evil?
Wade, hurry. I thirst for their souls.
This is a zombie mist. We may be in trouble.
Genosians wouldn't leave zombies for us. The treasure leaving types.
Treasure! Shh! Zombies. Remember?
the other app, it's a smaller community, but it's interesting. And it was called Hinge. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, it was called Hinge. So it's interesting because it, instead of showing you like a billion people, they only show you like maybe 7 or 8 different people, and that's all you can see for the day. And so their motto is like, enough with the endless swipes, just see a few people, and supposedly the engine would find more people that were more likely to like you. And so I got a few dates, and they went pretty well, but I mean, none of them lasted. But so their engine was pretty good, but that was another one you can try if you want to. I kind of recommend it. Oh, but that's not even the point of the story. The point of the story with Tinder is that I was on it for about a year, and I get occasional matches, but then, like I said, the person would just unmatch with me once they found out I matched with them. But then I started getting a ton of responses, and I was like, oh my goodness. And so, but it wasn't from like actual people. And so I would like text back and forth, and so they just followed the script. I was just like, oh, hi, and I'm like, hi. And then like one of the scripts was like, oh, I'm a nurse, where do you live? And I'd say like the general city where I live. And they're like, oh yeah, I know that area. Do you want to meet up tonight? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, one more thing. But since I don't know you, you have to get verified on this site. Just enter in all your personal information, and I'll verify and make sure it's you. And it's like, one of the sites was like Tinder safe dating, but it looks super sketchy. And so the first time it happened, I was like, no, I don't trust this site. It looks like they're going to steal my information. And then the person got super happy with me. And I swear it's just like a click farm of people who just sitting there with these fake Tinder accounts. And it was like, no, it's super reliable. And they got really happy. And I was like, oh, this is clearly, spam. So what I found out, like, what I knew is you can flag someone as like being a spam account, but then I found out you could do it one step further, where you could, when you go to unmatch, it gives you a little prompt that says, why are you unmatching? And so what I do now is you can go and you say, okay, this person's spam, and then I would go and unmatch with them, and then say, this account is spam. So it's like a double spam account, spam buster. And so it got to the point, and this is why I started to quit, was I was just getting tons of spam accounts. And you might be like, oh, well, you just can't like the accounts that look like spam. And I was like, I was avoiding people that were clearly spam, but the spam accounts have like real people's photos, It's just like normal photos. Because like there were a couple of spam accounts where it's like, oh, and for some reason they were all from like New York University. And they were just like, they weren't like selfies, but they were like professional model, professional models and like professional glamour shots. And it's just like, nobody puts this much effort into a Tinder account. And those are clearly fake, but those weren't even the accounts that I was talking about.
Behold, the treasure of the great mutant of transmutation. Under his rule, society learned that greed has its price.
Knock, knock, spirit. Open up. What
Deadpool, the amazing.
They have been waiting for your arrival, but you must prove your worth. You must pass the test. Look into your own souls. Only then will the spirit emerge. Seek wisdom in these ancient caves.
And then
Eagerly wait your return.
I've been like looking for more places to put my artwork in, like galleries. And so I don't know, I've been doing a lot of research. And so what it seems to be normal is like for places that are like cafes and or like bookstores, or any place that their goal is like not to sell art, but they can sell art, is like they can take a maximum of like 30% of the price. But like other art studios, like places like made for selling art, they'll take like 50 to 40%. But I was like, okay, I'll like try to get into more cafes. And so like the first person I emailed, he was like, yep, just come by, drop him off, hang him up. And it was just like, it was so easy, I was just like, I have been holding off on doing it for years. And the way I found him, it was actually by an accident. Was that close to where I live, I have this art institute, and so I always said, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna put my art in, because they have like not the student art gallery that sells, but it's like an art store that's part of the art museum. And for years I said I'm just gonna put my artwork there. So I finally got several of my pictures framed, and then like went there, and the lady was like, "Oh, you can't come today. You have to drop them off on Thursday." And I was like, "What?" Because I went there before, and they said, and the way it works is you have to get judged, and so, they don't judge you; they judge your artwork. And so once they judge that your artwork is like good enough to sell, then they'll let you go and put it in the store. And so I was like, but the judgment day was like, it was supposed to be on like a Tuesday. And they're like, no, it's actually on Thursday now. And I was like, seriously, you guys changed it? So I was like, fine, no problem. Oh, and the other thing is, it's not on like every.
No, it's the contest winner we promised to put in our game.
It's Eddie.
You were supposed to be the pizza delivery guy from my apartment in level 1.
And so, it's not every Thursday. It's like only the third Thursday of the month. And I was like, okay, this is fine. So I come back the next week, because the way it worked, it was like the month started on a Wednesday, and so the third Tuesday was like a whole week earlier than the third Thursday of the month. And so I come back the next week, and there's a different lady there at the salesman desk, and I was like, here to drop off my prints. I want to get them judged. And the other person previously said I should come around 12, because that's when the critiquing artist comes to look, and like they don't let you drop off your.
Is that supposed to...
And I died. And they don't let you drop off your artwork to be judged, because I guess too many people would just leave it. And it's like you have to stay, and you have to witness the judging. And so I come, and he's like, "Oh, we're actually not doing that anymore. We're actually closing the store." I was like, "What?" Because they had like years of people coming in, bringing in their artwork, and they're like, "Yeah, we're no longer doing it." And in fact, we're trying to return all the art to all the artists and stuff. I was like, oh, I waited like 1 year too many. I mean, I've been trying to do this since high school. So I guess the moral of the story is just feel the fear and do it anyway. Because if you wait too long, it like doesn't work out. And so after that, I was like, well, I have all these pictures framed, and I was like, I guess I'm ready for like a small exhibition. And so, exhibit. And so I just contacted this guy, and I gave him a link to my website, and he was like, yeah, just bring it. And he was like, you have the whole wall to yourself. You can hang as many as you want there. And so for a month, he just had all his stuff up, and I was in the cafe. And then I was actually getting worried, because he said I could go there for 2 months. But then I was like, I'm not sure. And then I never heard back from him, like once my artwork was there. And so I just emailed him. It was a borderline at like 3 months later. I was like, can I come by to pick up my artwork? And he was like, yep. And he already had it unboxed for me, which was really nice, because I didn't want to. Because when I was hanging it up, I mean, it's during working hours. So everybody's in there drinking, and like everyone's watching you put it up. And so it's like a stressful thing. But he had already taken it down for me and put it in the box. And all I had to do was go pick up the box, and it was like, great. And I was like, I hope I can keep the box, but I did. So now I'm going to be looking for more places to put my artwork. And not only that, I'm going to start getting bigger prints, because, well, I not only bigger prints, but I have to like get more frames, because I have a ton printed for my portfolio, but actually it's for a portfolio, so they're just loose. And so I have to I have 30 13 by 19s, which is a medium to large size. And then I have hundreds of 8x10s and 8.5x11s, which is a normal sheet of paper. And then I have a lot of 11x14s. And so the problem is I just don't have that many frames.
You have done well. Return to clay.
And like that's an investment because you want a good frame. And I mean, some of them, what I do is I print the photo with the white border, and then I don't get the matte with it. But a lot of times the matte looks better. But when you print the white border, it also looks a lot more framed better than just a full print.
Cha-ching. Oh, that sounded like boom.
And so I talked about how I was kind of playing Destiny, but before I started Destiny, I actually played Destiny on the PS3, and then I went back and I actually got it from a deal for $20 from, I think it was from Walmart, and then I was like, okay. And so that's how I got back into Destiny. And I've just got to the point where I got in the PS3. Gotten as far as I got in the PS3. So it's starting to be new content now. But before that, and before I was playing Halo 5, I was playing
Welcome to Loserville. Population.
Batman Arkham Knight. And the game was good. I mean, there were some parts that were bad. I mean, not bad, but it's just cringy. Like, there are too many tank battles. It's just like, stop. Because you'll just be driving down the road and then like a tank will see you, and then the tank will call in all these other tanks, and it's like, no, I don't want to do a tank battle right now. It was like in between every mission, and there were a lot of missions. Like Gotham City has problems, you know.
10th time's the charm. You'll get it this time, Wade. Get to it, Wade.
But anyway, so Gotham City has problems. But I did maybe, I'd say, I think my final count, I did like 60% of the game by the time I finished it and got to the end credits. But, oh, and there was this funny part, spoiler alerts at the end, but like you beat the main story and Batman's like, I have one more night to like help save the city. And the joke of it is, I guess the game took place kind of across multiple days, but the sun never comes up in Gotham. It's just night the entire time you play the game. So it's like, you have one more night. The sun has never come up. I don't think the sun has ever come up in Gotham.
One ticket, please.
So that was pretty funny. It was like, this is never-ending night.
Not sure if you knew, but I'm kind of a big deal. This is like my video game. Like, I can just get you programmed out of existence if I wanted to.
Yo, Hulk, not sure if you knew, but I'm a clone, see? My crew runs deep. Man, that was great.
I'm kind of losing it here. I can't take it anymore! Don't you know I'm loco?
He's trying to cut the line. Get him!
One, please.
Your ticket.
Oh yeah, let's do this thing.
Win me a prize. And don't forget to scream.
Better not be any clowns on this ride. Freaking hate clowns. And cows. Cows are clowns without the L in the end.
And then I've been doing kind of my day job now is before I used to work in a department store, but that was seasonally. And the department that I worked at, like once the holiday season was over, they're like, "We'd love to keep you, but we already have too many people working in our department." And they were like, "You can apply for another position or come back next year for the next holiday season." I was like, "Okay, that's cool." And so when spring came around, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna start, doing my gardening business again." But it's just been crazy because I've gotten so much more equipment that it's just, gardening has become exponentially easier. Like I used to have to do like taking the weeds out by hand, and so it would take me like 4 or 5 hours to do a small patch of like taking weeds out from rocks. And now it's just like I have a weed whacker and everything. It takes like 2 seconds. And so I'm able to do like 2 or 3 acres in like a day. So it's a lot nicer. But the other thing that's nice about getting into machinery is like, I don't know why I waited so long, is that you work longer, and not only is it easier, but you can like pace yourself so much better. And so I used to work like 2 to 3 hours a day. Now I work like 4 to 6, and I'm like working my way up to working 8 hours like every day. And so it's nice because it's like outdoors and sunny. But the other thing I noticed is like my mood has improved because I'm like exercising so much more. It's just like 6 hours of exercise or 4 hours or 8 hours. And I notice now that like when I'm taking a break, when it's like one of the days I'm not working, I don't get grumpy, but I'm like a little sad. I was like, oh, I don't have anything. Not that I don't have anything to do. It's like I don't have anything physical to do. But it's true, like if you exercise more, you do get some of those happy endorphins. And I kind of forgot about it because when I worked at the department store, I had the same thing. But in the department store, I would be walking like on my fitness tracker on my phone. It was like 6 to 7 miles I would walk, just running back and forth to the department store. But both working in gardening and working with the department store, I mean,
I resent that remark.
one, it was nice because a lot of people are like, "Lloyd, you work a lot." I was like, "Thank you." But then the other thing is that so people were like complimenting my work ethic. I was like, oh, maybe I do work a lot because I usually work for myself, so I never have anyone to gauge against. But then the other thing is like work is so much easier, especially if you're like working for another company and not just yourself. That like I used to get like anxiety a lot, and that's what I mean by it's easier. But like my brain, I automatically think of like all the worst things that can happen. The day's gonna be horrible. Everything's gonna go awry. You're gonna have customers yelling at you, and it's almost never like that. It's almost always easier than what you imagine. And I have like a really creative brain, and so it was nice, really nice working in the department store because it's just like most of your days are good days. And this is even in like the shopping season of Christmas and everything. Most of your days are good. I mean, you'll occasionally get a grumpy person, maybe once a day, but it doesn't even bother you because all your other experiences are good. And I remember there's this one guy, and it's so funny because sometimes I watch like ASMR videos, but this guy came up to me and he had like this raspy voice, and he instantly gave me like this ASMR tingle. I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. And I almost told him like you should go on to like radio shows or something. But he was like, young man, you do such a good job. I just want to thank you for all your help you give me. And so it was just funny because I was helping him pick out his pots, but he was there. It was funny because I helped him for a while, and I kept running into him. But he was there for like maybe 6 hours, and I was like, he was there my entire shift and just running around looking for stuff. And he was there with his wife. I thought that was so funny.
The destruction of the catacombs can now begin. Now we can be together. Forever!
This thing we're going steady? Baby, you're the deadest.
You release the spirits for me. Thank you, my darling. Now, you must leave me.
What? No, babe. Was it something I said?
Oh, it's something you are, Wade. You're alive. Go. Finish your journey. And stop Sinister.
But baby,
Our time will come.
believe this? Cock blocked twice in my own game. Cowboy up, nerd. Time for melon farmers to pay the ferryman.
America.
Yeah, moment right there.
So there's going to be,
Strange new world death is
this is the
presented us
4th Let's Play, and there's going to be one more Let's Play.
Back on the surface.
Ah, I love it.
Let's Play 5 is the last Let's Play of
We
Deadpool.
should get to
Oh my god. What's
And then
over
after
there?
that, I'm going to be doing Heavy Rain. This is a fun PS3.
Cheap hot
It's a
sauce.
classic game.
Deadpool.
Okay, well this is our
Hey!
last moments of episode 4.
Just a little
You can subscribe
surprise
to
for our player.
our Patreon, LCD Productions.
Whatever, we got
For $2 or more, you'll get early access to these Let's Play, and you get access to episodes 1 through 5 of this Let's Play up to a month earlier than it comes out on Twitch, and close to about 2 months before it actually comes public on YouTube. And each month we release a complete series of Let's Play. And so, thanks for tuning in.
We gotta get to Sinister
Bye-bye.
before the X